And welcome back.
To One Hit High Points
This is Travis,
and Kareem.
and welcome back.
Yes, we're here again. So today, we lived a day. We kind of just
Survived.
Yeah, we survived another day. You got your shit done. I got my shit done, and we both had to rush to the
We went to the
clock.
gym.
Yeah, kind of had to rush a
Kind of
little bit.
rushed today.
Got a haircut. So much fun.
Yeah, haircuts are like interesting. It's like you feel so great, and I don't know why.
I think people just like to feel, I don't know, like clean for a couple days without having to worry too much about maintenance.
I don't know.
That's why I love haircuts, because whenever I look in the mirror after like 3 days of a haircut, I'm like, good. Like, I don't have to worry about there just being any real, I don't know, messiness. Everything just looks even. And then the only effort really is just like a little bit of product to the flick of a bang, and you're good, good to go.
I guess.
And then a beard trim, oh my god, that's great. I love a beard trim for like 2 days after, and then I'm like shit, because whenever it starts to grow back, the little prickles above the cheek line, you're like trying to do your best to make that same straight line, but you always end up getting like little dips,
Yeah.
and then you fuck it up, and then you're like, all right, a whole beard's coming off.
And I think another thing that's really fun or exciting, I guess, like a haircut, is a massage. And I had one of those yesterday, and that's probably why I'm in such a good mood from a massage and a haircut back to back.
Yeah, I had the facial and the haircut.
It's a good week.
Yeah, the thing is, I typically would have never like wanted to do a facial ever. I was never into those types of things because I didn't care. And I've had, professional massages before, and they've been great, and definitely appreciate it, and was very grateful. But when I realized kind of how much better it is to have someone who's a professional tell you about your skin than using bullshit products all the time that people tell you to just use, and you're like, all right, is this working? Is it helping? What the fuck am I doing right? Is there something I'm doing wrong?
You can't believe the marketing and the gimmicks of big corporations saying, "Oh, this is all natural, good for you," and then it's like, okay, I've been using this. My acne at the age of 13 is still not going away. Like,
Right.
and it's like, but yeah, okay, then put this on too, and it's like you have 9 different tubes of acne cream.
Yeah, for me, like my main issue was never really acne. I would say I've gotten like anxiety bumps before on my forehead whenever I was like really stressed, but I think that's like everyone would have gone through that. My main thing is kind of like just cleansing pores. I would just like to have my pores cleansed. And that's because I struggle breathing. So if I know that my pores being cleansed frequently can help me breathe a little bit better, since I struggle so much, that'd be a really good thing. So I went to that lady, and the person, shout out to Victoria, she's amazing at Massage Envy. But the fact that she, I don't know, just diagnosed my skin in a way that made it seem like she really cared about what journey my skin would go through moving forward. Whether it was like clearing redness or sunspots or whatever have you, I kind of felt that her knowledge and expertise really helped me see that I didn't have to have the most expensive products. I didn't even have to have that many steps. I just needed to have like the right 3 things and just kind of follow through with it consistently. And then also remember, like, a good diet and water is everything, as well as sunscreen.
It's almost just like self-care. It's really where it's like a haircut is a part of self-care. And I think when you start focusing on yourself, just the little things, you feel better about life, because it's just such a shitty world that we're in. And I think, sometimes you just have to focus inward and just take a deep breath and relax, because the world's crazy.
So this is kind of what that episode is then, right? Because it didn't go into it being this way. I think we were just going to talk about hair for a little bit because it was part of her day. But now this is actually interesting, because now it's sort of how self-care throughout these crazy ass times, where everything is so trivial. We don't even know what's happening before our eyes. I think at this point, everyone's checked out. And some people don't want to face reality.
I don't think a lot of people want to face reality, because everyone kind of just feels like we're on the brink of war. And a lot of people just kind of bow their head down, I think, and just kind of like, I don't want to talk about it.
They don't want to think about it.
It's more of a, I don't want to say a coward, but it's more of a just out of sight, out of mind type mentality.
But we talked about how that's pretty it's pretty,
negative.
Not negative, but it's repressing your humanity in a way that I think you don't realize in those moments when you're trying to be someone who's surviving and putting your blinders on and trying to make it day by day. If you do have plans of a brighter future or that for people you love, whether it's your own children or just whatever, anyone you would love in this world, you would want to be in some way, right, part of the solution for change, like, or at least some shift to a change. Like, I don't understand how people can repress that side of themselves so much, because I've been through so much shit, and losing a mother in a very traumatic way just recently, in my opinion, is something that I use as such a badge of like strength. I'm like, wow, I survived another day. I continued living, and that just shows my willpower is clearly strong enough to live for a brighter future, right? Because that's why I would still be here. I'd still want to be happy, right? So I think for people to kind of turn their blinders on, it makes me question where they've gone. Like, why have they gotten to a point where they just truly don't care about the well-being?
I think it's both. I think you have probably there's two groups of people, I think, in that bucket. You have the ones that are truly that far gone from reality and don't care. And you have the other ones that are just, I think, just the way that they face problems or circumstances or whatever the case. And some of it is personality. And I think in some aspects doesn't mean that it's the right behavior, but I don't think it's like malintent. Like, I don't care. Like, you have those people in the world. And then you have the ones of, I don't really know.
But you don't care enough to be inactive, and that's the point I'm making. It's just like
some of it is just
you can't just have silent
lack of
thoughts.
Education also.
Yeah, you can't just have silent thoughts of like, wish this could be different. You can't have those nihilistic, or I mean, I don't want to say nihilistic. You can't have those completely apathetic thoughts in the sense that it doesn't invoke any bit of energy, movement, or shift within yourself. Like, if you have apathy to humanity as a whole, you unfortunately don't realize that it's going to come back to you tenfold, whether in your lifetime or for anyone you care about. Because if you only care about your bubble's going to be popped soon.
Yeah.
It's going to be popped soon because I feel like everyone in life gets humble to some degree, based off like a spectrum of how your life has gone, right? So like, if you have had a great life and you have been humbled by something, but you're still gonna have a great life, to someone who's probably had a great life their whole life and had something really bad happen to them, probably would hit so hard to them, as that's their only spectrum of life. While some people who've gone through shit could kind of just see any other bit of shit thrown at them as like, all right, like, this world, I survived so much. I think that's like why there's such a beauty in accepting suffering and in accepting realities, because it is so vital to the human being, right? It's so vital to our growth as human beings, and more of an understanding of what it is to be alive, and what it is to be grateful for life, and what it is to just appreciate life while you have it, as well as like respecting other people and letting a world that you inhabit, with others. You can work together as this civilization, as a world civilization, to just excel within our capabilities, and we would be amazed at what we can accomplish.
Yeah, if we put all of our strengths
in an ethical
together,
way, but in a way that thinks of all, because I think that's the only way to truly maintain a productive society. The minute we start to think about ego, or the want to have a such a brazen identity that it means conquering others, and kind of injecting your own influence in a way that's authoritarian, then I think you've created what we have today, which is leaders that only seek to create and destroy based off their own will, or their own ability to think that they're their own god. And that's scary, because when you have people that think like that, not only are you not actually being someone who's evolving, you're being someone very primitive, which is just someone primitive in a modern way, where you have just more weapons and more guns and ammunitions and nuclear bombs. Like, you just have more technology to be evil, versus when you had stones and
but
sticks.
I think regardless, you're always going to need a leader, in my mind. Like, I don't think society can lead themselves, and where I'm getting at this, I'm not saying that you didn't think that, but it's more of like societies always need a leader, and at some point those leaders get corrupt, and I think that's where I feel like where we're at in today's world, and most governments around the world, I think, are in some line of corruption all the way through, and it's probably all intertwined in some aspects. But I don't know really what I'm saying. Besides that, we always need leaders, and for some reason, it's like, I guess at what point is the system's the system? You're never going to break it. Maybe that's kind of where I'm getting at. Is like, how do you go against the norm of the leadership that we have, and the ability of it to get corrupt? How do you more make it?
How do you stop it from getting that way?
Correct. Maybe that's where
I think when there's an imbalance.
That's a long-winded way of getting to the question.
It's okay. I think that's beautiful. I love when people are long-winded about something they're passionate about explaining, because that's my problem. I'm just kidding. So what I want to say is I think the only way to truly help it is to focus on the imbalance of power, because if that means...
So does the government have too much power? Is that kind of...
Of course the government has too much power.
Okay, so how do you... I guess it's more of a... Okay, so we say the government has too much power. What are like some... And this is me just being logical. Like, what are some like bullet points of pieces that need to be like changed, or how do we fix the problem?
So I think
actionable steps, I guess, is kind of what I'm...
It's kind of like it's easy psychology. It's easy to realize. Just like what happens to the refrained child who goes to college and then is always repressed, then finally finds out that they have all these series of like unattended baggage of emotional like obedience, right, where they couldn't really ever be expressive, and then they go to college and then they have all these problems now that unfold for them because they don't know how to be a person, and now because they didn't know how to be a person, they're making all these mistakes and their life maybe goes to shit, or they're just having more struggles than they would have ever needed to have. So I think of that as like the more restrictions you put on people, like especially like large amounts of people, the more you're going to start seeing chaos. Because if you're told no
to go, if you say don't touch this wet paint, people's going to do it. Like, it's more of like, that's kind of
you just can't expect humans to do bad and evil and wrong all the time, because that unfortunately is what then plants seeds in people's minds that fuck you for thinking whatever the fuck you want me to be, and then they do resist and rebel. Or I don't want to say the word resist. I think people should resist, especially like occupation. Like, let's stay aware here, but I think people should definitely be more attentive that when more government is invoked onto us, that it's going to make people feel more suppressed in a way that makes them want to just break free against whatever bullshit rights that we think other humans have over us simply because we put them in those public service positions. At the end of the day, we pay you to be leaders in the most ethical way that's for the betterment of the people you govern.
They're the representation of the people.
Yeah, so even if we're not going to be like a global happy world peace, like even if we want to go a different route from what I actually believe in, because I believe in everyone has a God-given right to be an actual equal in this world, I think if we're just focusing on our country, then why isn't the politicians that we put in these positions, the congressmen that we put in these positions, right, that govern our lives, making the decisions that the majority of people are saying, hey, we don't want this, we don't agree with this, stop this? Why is it that these big corporations get to influence these decisions that ultimately only ever affect...
Because it's all about money.
Again, but that's the part where I believe that a lot of these, I'm not against capitalism in its entirety. There's obviously selfish greed, whatever bullshit sins that we have that affects any system that would probably be good for humanity. I don't know, right? But with capitalism, I think it clearly shows that the people who become really, successful through capitalism become fascists, and then they try to dismantle capitalism in a way that stops the working class from ever being able to then attain the same amount of wealth to give back, because it only ever seems to be that 1% elites that continue collecting and putting all these small businesses out. And there you go. Now you're technically fascist in the corporate world, right? You're just this elite.
It's a monopoly group. In some aspects.
It is, and that's why I don't understand why people are still, concerned on, oh my God, we must vote Republican, we must vote Democrat. We need to change the system. A lot of people don't understand that your vote essentially means the same evil. When you have these arguments, with the lesser of two evils, we shouldn't have to have the lesser of two evils. We shouldn't have to have even one evil. We should be able to elect actual people with real intent to compromise on the best possible solutions to have a functioning society. I don't understand why this is still that person's. We don't want that. You don't want Trump. Shut up, genocide protesters, the anti-genocide protesters. Shut up. You if you don't want me to continue speaking, then essentially you want Trump to win. Like, this is what I don't understand. Why? Why are we in this situation? Why are we memeing our politicians? Like, no, these should be serious things. These are our lives. This is the betterment of our lives. for for future generations, for anyone we care about. We have to care. We have to be aware of these things. Shit. We do. We just have to stay like resilient and stay focused, because there is a shift happening, but we have to start at that domino effect for the betterment for humanity. We have to start seeing that genocide should never be tolerated in modern history. We can do better than this as citizens of the world. We can do much better than this. This is not it. This is not how we do it. Whether we had a silent genocide with the pandemic, or whether we have this one and just broadcast it to our faces so blatantly, we have to stay we have to stay
because
vigilant. Say that.
Vigilant.
Yeah, we have to do that.
Vigilant.
Yes, we have to. That's like not. That sound is not easy for me to make. Like vigilant. It's not my first language.
This happens. I went through speech therapy before, so Same. Here I am and still stuttering through words. So it happens.
But yes, say that, and self-care. That's how this started. Find those moments of self-care. I think that's the balance of
it. Is like we have to continue to push and fight for the things that make sense for humanity. But I guess, you need the self-care also aspect of it and kind of just balance everything out, because it's at the end of the day, it is exhausting, just with your day-to-day jobs and, making a living and children or anything like that. And then fighting for the things that we want, or, standing up against, it's the balance piece of it. And I think a lot of people they don't care is that they're so exhausted that they don't have the energy to do so. And I think that's a problem in the world, that we're working so hard in this world for.
But we're working so hard because we're not fighting back. So think about that. When you're working harder because you're not fighting back. When I say fighting back, I don't mean physically. I don't mean violently. I mean when you're not going against these systems that are actually taking more and more of your rights and more of your money, your hard-earned money. You're essentially
the money that you want to enjoy vacations with, and that you the lifestyle that most people
you're complacent. You're complacent to your own demise, and it's just like, why? I'm like, shit. Like, what has to? Again, I think the majority of people are not so deeply affected to the point where they're complacent. I just think that they're not active enough. At least like be active enough, like invoke a change in yourself to be able to say, I care enough about my future and my loved ones' futures that I want to be part of a solution, because I'm realizing how short life is and how maybe short my life is at wherever you're at your age in life. You'd want to be able to say like, hey, I'm at an age now where I want to be able to make a contribution that I can feel good about before I die. And if that means like doing something for collective humanity, then damn, like you can die a good death. And at least in my opinion. And, going back to the balance statement you were making, is like, we'll never be able to truly get rid of that evil. We definitely need leaders in life. But, I think life is a balancing act, right? We always have to maintain a balance. And right now, especially U.S. politics, I don't think there's a balance. I think there's a very clear imbalance.
No, it's definitely
because evil has obviously been in control of this country for a long time now, and I would think that people would want to wake up. And
evil's always going to be here. It's just from the nature.
But there's an imbalance of evil, right? Because that's what I'm trying to talk about. If evil's clearly on both sides right now, if there's evil happening on both sides so severely, then in my opinion, I don't believe that there is balance. I think that evil is just, if we're having to constantly say this statement, which is everyone says it, oh, the lesser of two evils. Why are we keep saying these things? Like that to me is like very telling that people understand there's evils that are ruling, and that's that imbalance of power where I think we need to bring back good ethical leaders and have them actually not be paid off by lobbyists, or even blackmail.
Bring the line of morality back.
Yeah, we just need people. We need people to care about the people. That's all I'm saying, and we have to do that in a way that is productive to bring back that balance. Otherwise, we're walking into the agenda of evil, and we're just like, okay, we're embracing hell on earth, and I'm like, People don't even think, even people who are like, I don't believe in a God, or I'm agnostic, whatever it is, you even just metaphorically, like you're walking into hell. Like you're actually walking into hell.
Like a burning...
It's not good for anyone. It's not good for the average everyday citizen.
But I also kind of wonder, like, we say like both or the lesser of the two evils.
I hate when people say that because it's so true, but it's like, why?
But I'm getting, like, what I'm trying to come up with the words in my mind to think of is more of like, it's probably always been that way. I don't think it was never.
Of course.
And I think it's always been that way. And I think all of a sudden now it's
that's why I said it's been evil for a really long time.
And what I'm saying from the day of the conception.
From the day of.
Because there was barters and gambles and deals to benefit one person or the other on all that went down with, the formation of the United States. So...
And I understand that's horrible, and that's the reason why I will always feel like this country being able to support what's happening now to Palestinians and to, frankly, a lot of countries in the Middle East, that I'm like, yeah, this country just clearly has never changed and has never took the founding of this country in hopes for like America's for everyone, and we can do our rights and wrongs and, make it the most safe haven for all citizens of this planet. Like it can actually have redeemed itself in some fucking radical way that I still, sympathize and empathize deeply for the Native Americans, because I know that there's no real justice at all unless their country comes, back fully for them. So there's that balance, kind of like sadness in me because I'm such a proud American. I love being here. I love this country. What I'm getting at
is more of that. We look at the Republicans and Democrats, and we both say that they're both evil, like now. And I'm saying that's only become, I think, more relevant just because of technology.
Of course.
Because the information is out there and everyone can understand it. It's just not what your newspaper is telling you.
I'm just trying not to sound completely pessimistic because I understand that they're evil as it always existed. I'm just trying to talk more about maybe more ethical decisions versus the ones that are being made now. Because I think back then we can stop wars with a phone call. Now, apparently our country is so, embarrassing because we can't, and humiliated because we can't even tell a country that we basically fund in its entirety, stop bombing. We need a ceasefire. Like we're incapable of even doing that. Mm-hmm. We've humiliated our country. We've made ourselves look like a laughing stock to the rest of the world. And this belief that we're all about democracy and we respect international law. No, we only respected international law when we sanctioned Russia, right? And Iran. But not when, when it was, being addressed to potentially have it done to Israel and stopping arms shipments and maybe just trying to get a ceasefire that was a little bit more direct through the international community. America was like, how could they? It's been infiltrated. We don't respect these decisions. This doesn't stand for our values and blah, blah, blah. It's like, the rest of the world is looking at us like we're dumb and thinking like we have no leg to stand on. Our reputation's ruined. Our reputation's ruined.
Justice, going against what the ICJ ruled.
If you don't respect international law, you have nothing. You have nothing. What is it? What precedent does that set to the rest of the world that we talked about this before, like any country that has had conflicts with other neighboring countries or other peoples have conflicts with other neighboring peoples, all bets are off. People may be able to do whatever they want now. Mm-hmm. Governments may be able to do whatever they want now and not fear necessarily getting sanctions because then they can always just, call out the hypocrisy of America and the hypocrisy of Israel. But no one, again, thinks of that. We want to keep this country strong and show the rest of the world that we are an amazing country. But how can we maintain that pride, which I so desperately want to keep forever because I was born here. This is my home. I don't want this country to go down. And I'm saying this as like a hopeful idiot probably because it's obviously, I don't know, too late or whatever, or just the damage is done. But I want to be able to still feel prideful in what we are capable as a country full of immigrants and a country that's, in my opinion, actively working its ass off to maintain sanity. I feel for the people more than anyone, not the leaders who are wicked and sinister. I feel for the people that are just trying to make sense of what every day means because it just feels like a long, horrible simulation that you want out of. You want to restart, But finding gratitude in the small moments. Oh, my throat is dry. Finding gratitude in the strong moments that you have in life, like the happy moments, that should be enough to like keep you going, to keep you
going, and also just add some self-care in there, and between those two pieces,
again. Get a haircut, get a facial, whatever facial you want. Just kidding. Oh my god, that's horrible. But yes, it's self-care.
Massages.
They help. I think foot massages are also like you can't deny a foot massage and a scalp massage. Those are the two I
I
would
don't know.
say.
A nice shoulder massage is wonderful.
I got you.
Shoulders and necks. Shoulders and necks.
Yes. Anyways, that's all I guess. Do you have any finishing statements on how you want this world to go?
We all can do better.
Yes,
That's every
again.
single person on this world should, after listening to this lovely podcast, is like look inward and to see what can I improve on. And I know that I don't want to sound like
Any form of
leadership,
productivity
like,
is,
hey, let's do this.
something.
I don't want to be like one of those inspirational coach type things. Nothing wrong with them, but I'm not really coming that. It's just more of a look inward.
Yes. Yes. Find little bits to be productive, even if it's just like house chores or like your projects you have, because it's gonna
Be proud of something.
it's gonna create like a
I think that's
snowball effect.
that's another piece right there. Is you have to be proud of pieces of your life, as in, it's such a good feeling. Like it's like, oh, I did that, or and those moments there, I think, help pushes you forward more and more. Whether that's a social media post or a project around the house or whatever makes you that feel good inside, you should use those moments to help push you through life.
Yeah.
Because between those and the people that you surround yourself with and self-care, you can survive anything in this world, in my mind.
Massage a day, a massage a month, because shit, people are on a budget. Massage a month keeps the peace.
Massage a month keeps the sanity.
Everyone should just get a fucking massage. I think everyone just needs a massage, like once a month. Or that sounds horrible because not everyone could, but obviously I mean that in general. That if money can go back into the global system, that everyone can just get a massage once a month. That's what I mean.
Everyone should just do something for themselves once a month. I think that's more of like the self-care piece.
Humans should like.
Some people don't like massages. Like some people are like, no, I don't want to be touched. Don't leave me alone.
I was just about to say there's something beautiful about like humanity helping another human, but like only in the way just to like help a person. Like how a doctor's meant to actually save people. Like that kind of.
Well, I think that's what the beauty of the world is, and
like a person massaging someone in that profession who's just like gets happy to like help someone.
If it wasn't for evil of the world,
because they know how good that
then all of society will work together. The doctor's a doctor because the doctor likes medicine or like the study of medicine.
At least they went to it initially.
So it's more of like,
and then it became a paycheck for some.
Correct, and then all of a sudden greed comes along because. Yes. It's greed in the system that the government allows, where it becomes so expensive, where we just we don't want more, we need more because we have the bills, because things are so expensive. So it's this endless cycle of going after things.
AI box machine, wherever you are, play "Give Me More" by Britney Spears.
Give me. So, in summary, everyone should do something for themselves at least once a month.
Yes.
And challenge yourself to become better, because we all can.
I agree with this message.
And on that note,
that's my political slogan that I support.
That is my one hit.
On the next one. Bye.